Wes here, and welcome to Shocktoberfest 2021 for day 15. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, living for a scare. All right, enough of that Bon Jovi ripoff. We're going to have some interesting fun today. We're going to talk about Roger Corman's 1963, The Terror. And to be honest, this movie is a terror. We're going to talk about it. We're going to rip right into this Band-Aid right fucking now. This movie takes place in the early 1800s where a soldier from Napoleon's army named Andre is lost on a beach riding his horse. He eventually falls off and starts to dehydrate. He is rescued by a young woman named Helene, who is different, a little bit mysterious. She disappears from time to time, and when she comes back, she tries to seduce him. While he's trying to look for Helene, he finds an old lady in the village nearby, and he asks her who the girl is, and she says, no, there's no girl named Helene. I have a bird named Helene, but, you know, that's about it. Her servant Gustav tells him that he needs to go to the castle of Baron von Lepp to ask some more questions or to seek refuge. When Andre goes to visit Baron von Lepp is a little bit amused at the fact that Andre is there needing help because Baron von Lepp at one point was a soldier himself. However, he is a little perturbed at the fact that Andre keeps talking about this woman named Helene, and he thinks that he saw her in the castle. However, it was a painting of the Baron's late wife, Ilsa. So herein which lies this kind of love triangle between this woman named Helene / Ilsa, Andre, and Baron von Lepp. Ilsa is trying to convince Baron von Lepp to kill himself in order for them to be together. However, she's also seducing Andre to take his soul. When Andre leaves the castle at one point to ask the old lady what's going on, she says the Baron killed her son and that Ilsa was his wife and they were going to have a child together. However, the plot thickens. We find out later that the old lady made a deal with the devil so that her son could be avenged and Baron von Lepp would finally get his comeuppance. Now there's another plot twist. So the plot twist is, Baron von Lepp is actually Eric. Eric actually killed the original Baron when he was caught having an affair with Ilsa. So, yeah, that's why Eric stayed there to take on the curse. And eventually when they all go to the castle to save his soul from Ilsa, they go on consecrated ground, and because the old lady had, made a deal with the devil, she gets struck by lightning, gets set on fire. There is a catacomb within the castle or the mansion that they open the floodgates, water goes in, everybody drowns except for Andre after he saves Ilsa, and when they share an embrace, she eventually rots away. Yep, that's the movie. That's pretty much the movie. A lot of twists that are interesting. However, yeah, we're going to talk about what we like and what we don't like here, or what I don't like, or what I like, but we're just going to talk about what I like first. Okay, the cast. The cast is great because there's a lot of names in there that most people can recognize at some point or another. I mean, Jack Nicholson is the lead role of Andre in this film. We also have Boris Karloff playing the Baron von Lepp. We have other people like Sandra Knight, who was one of, I believe it was Jack Nicholson's first wife, was playing Ilsa / Helene in this one. We also have Dick Miller. Yes, the man that we've known from Terminator to Gremlins to every other movie under the sun from the 80s, plays Stefan, Baron von Lepp's servant. We also have Jonathan Hayes, who played the original Seymour in 1960's Little Shop of Horrors, also directed by Roger Corman. That's about all I like about this film. Like, the twists are interesting, but I think how many twists they had in this movie, it felt like there were too many cooks in the kitchen. So therein lies my situation where my brain just kind of went on overload, and it was kind of hard to keep up. Now it's time to talk about the one thing that I really have a problem with in this movie.
One thing?
The acting. Now, don't get me wrong, folks. I mean, hey, I'm not the greatest actor in the world by any stretch of the means. Just because I have a degree in it does not mean I'm perfect. However, a lot of this acting seems like they were just reading off of a script. I mean, it made it very campy and very hokey. However, granted, I will say this, Roger Corman's films are very campy and very over the top. The original 1960 Little Shop of Horrors was camp, was science fiction, was goofy. This one was supposed to be horror-based. So, with it being kind of hokey and kind of campy for the 1960s, some people might have felt, okay, I get it, but I did go online and check out some reviews from Rotten Tomatoes and even from reviews back in the 60s. It did not get a lot of praise, let's put it that way, especially with the fact that we had a young Jack Nicholson whose career would skyrocket for the better part of the last 60 years prior to this film. And then also, we have Boris Karloff, one of the greatest horror meisters of all time, especially with the Universal monsters, especially playing Frankenstein and the Mummy, to be honest, and also in the animated classics of being the Grinch. I mean, yes, that's a kid's movie, but there are disturbing moments in that film as well, or short cartoon. And I know a lot of people will say, well, it was the 60s, and Roger Corman does his own good stuff, and I want to say, did you ever see the 1994 Fantastic Four movie direct-to-video? Yeah, Roger Corman, you've got a lot of, movies under your belt, but I can't say that I like every single one, so, yeah, now it's time to grade this film. And I'm gonna feel really bad on this one because, like I say, I have a lot of respect for Jack Nicholson and Boris Karloff, and even some of Roger Corman's films. But for this one being a horror film, and just how it played out, and just it was hard. Literally, I had to pause it a few times just to get my bearing because I was getting bored after a while. I'm giving this one. Okay, because it's got Jack Nicholson and Boris Karloff in it, I'm going to give this one a D+. D+, at best, because, other than that, it's just the story was interesting concept, but too many cooks in the kitchen when it came to plot twists. The acting, obviously, it just felt like people were just reading off of the script. It was like a cold read being filmed, and I'm sorry, I was thrown off by it, even as an actor. So, yeah. Anyways, folks, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure that you leave a thumbs up. Leave a thumbs down if you don't like my review on this one. I get it. This one was kind of, I gave as best of a, plot line as I could, but, even just giving, my review on what I like and what I don't like, I kind of phoned it in just a little bit. So if you don't like it, I get it. I totally understand. But make sure that you do share on social media. And as always, push that little red button, and don't forget to ring the bell for instant notifications on Dragonfire Entertainment. Also, you know what? We hope you stay for Day 16 of SHOCKTOBERFEST 2021, because I got a feeling we're going to have a redemption film coming up next, and we're sure you're going to enjoy it. Until then, I'm Wildman Wes, and we'll see you next time. Stay tuned, and as always, stay scared, unlike this film.